Okay, so this happened last month in mid March 2023. I have worked for a client who is a monorail company from Switzerland, and the the client I'm working for is a Taiwanese company, and they wanted to work with the vendor from Switzerland. So we spent 3 days together. We visited construction company. We visited consulting company. We also visited some government representatives, and anyway, we want to get the projects. And my client, my Swiss client, they offer monorail tracks or the vehicle or car parts, anything. So on the last day of the visit, it was more like a casual, relaxing day, because every business meetings are going to over that day, and we will have dinner after that. So it could finally be a much more relaxing dinner. So we were chatting, me and the client from Switzerland, we were chatting in the cab, and smartly enough, he mentioned that when the consultant were asking, so how do you plan to put the area for handicapped people? What's the layout in the vehicle? And he gave some information, and he also mentioned that because my wife is in wheel, so I understand the importance of this, but practically, like, what's the ratio would be appropriate, stuff like that. So I was like, he was smart enough that he mentioned it to our client, or the consultant, or the government representative. He was smart and cautious that this wouldn't be like something to gain pity, so that he can win the project. But definitely was convincing. Like, people would be like, "Oh, okay, I got the information. So you will know. That's it. Simple, brief, clear, sharp." While we were in the cab, because I was really curious. That was on my mind. But I also don't want that conversation to be like sound like I want to pry his life, or leading that to an uncomfortable conversation that would eventually make me like, oh. So I asked this question, which I consider to be safe. We were talking about family and stuff, and I was like, so do you have to make your house friendly for your wife to move around? Like, maybe you have some device, like those automotive chair within the stairs and stuff. And he said, yeah, we have some. I have to make sure the house is safe for my wife. And I said, so she's able to take care of herself while you're gone? And he said, no, I have to arrange people to be there, to be there for her, to take care of her. And I was like, oh, okay. And that and the conversation regarding family and stuff, especially his wife. But my point is, so as an interpreter, sometime I would, people would be like, oh, where did you learn English? And like, they would assume that I have traveled abroad, but because I still have that thick accent, I guess it's still very easy to tell that I don't have any experience. I've traveled, but I've never lived abroad for a long time. So that's that. it's also easy for, because I contact, business persons, and they would, visit a country briefly, and I'm often the bridge for them to connect with local people. uh Sometimes I can see there's like attempt to cross the line, like uh maybe innocent, maybe not, but some flirting things going on. And I'm always super cautious about that because I know that would ruin my reputation. But I can sense that. Like, there are some jokes sometimes, maybe they don't meant to flirt, but definitely want to, be charming. Uh, I don't see that at all in that client, like at all. Like, he is just a gentleman from different country coming here trying to win the business. Um, that can me wonder. I am single right now, and I don't think, like, I am laser focused on my career and my kids and my family. I rarely have time to go on dates, and if I did, like, have a first date or what, it's not easy for me to get a second date, and people usually don't have patience for people like me because, well, let's be honest, everyone has their stuff to work on. And I know the fact that it's probably, the chance of me to be in a relationship again is probably fairly low, unless my kids are old enough to take care of themselves, and you know uh so what I want to remind myself in the future is, if you if I ever be in a relationship again, I want to be in a relationship like that. I mean, the guy sells gears for transportation, car parts, track, um, like system and stuff. Those are for transportation. And his wife is in wheelchair. And he travel around the world all the time. And yet, after that, he will go back to his wife, who is in wheelchair. I mean, maybe I was romanticizing that, but yeah. And while he was like, while we were having dinner or stuff, he was like, "Oh, I need to show my wife this. This is hilarious and stuff." I was like, that connection is what I wanted. And he showed us pictures of him hiking near the mountain, around his house, and we were like, oh, cool. And I wanted to say something like, oh, cool, so you do that often with your family and stuff. That time I didn't know his wife is in wheelchair. um, I'm glad I didn't ask, because I figure that might relate to family and stuff, and that could be dangerous, that could always be tricky. So that wasn't the time. That was like day one or day two. He showed us those pictures. Oh, cool, the mountain and blah blah stuff. Um, so yeah, I would like to have a relationship like that. Like, I of course want me to be healthy and stuff, but I I'm speechless. I think I made my point. So yeah, that's it. And I want to memorize this. So maybe in the future, maybe I am wondering if I want to ever be in a relationship again. I want this as a reference. Like, could it be potentially? I mean, I only know the client for 3 days, so there might be some dark side that I don't know in the house. But, but I guess I I guess you can misread people, you can misjudge people, but sometimes you can just feel the the positive vibe coming out from a person that you cannot fake. And that is really something that I'm looking for. So yeah, that give me hope, I guess, or give me wisdom. I don't know. So I hope it's useful for future me.